So, um, so if you could compete a sport in the Olympics, what would it be? If anyone wants to start.
What was that again, Sassy?
Um, um, it was what sport would you compete if you were in the Olympics?
Got it.
So does anyone want to start?
I'm gonna go with professional surfing. I know that's a summer Olympics thing.
Oh, okay, nice.
All right. Please tell me y'all have watched them do bobsledding. That looks so fun.
That's cool.
Cool Runnings was an incredible movie. That's all I'll say I know about it.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I would say like table tennis, not because like I'm like super good at it, but just because like I want to see like a lot of the professionals, they're like insane. So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
mhm.
Um, Anybody else?
Mr. Shostarek, I'm curious, what would you do?
I would just say like gymnastics because I already do it. But yeah. Yeah. Does anyone else wanna answer?
Wait, Puneet, did you say yours?
Oh, me? Well, for I'd probably swim. Like swim. Like that would be fun.
Okay. So does anyone else wanna add? Okay. I think we can start with like the state updates. Um, for California, we weren't working on a lot. We mainly were working on one of the presentations that we were gonna like present today. Yeah. So that was pretty much it that we did this month for California. So what about for Illinois? Is there a person here?
I don't think we have anybody from Illinois tonight.
Okay. Oh yeah, before I continue, does anyone want to take like the notes for the next meeting? Okay, I can write them. Is anyone from Iowa here?
No updates.
Okay. Louisiana.
I don't think we have anyone from Louisiana tonight.
Okay. Massachusetts. Is anyone
I don't see my teams, but I can report a little bit. They worked our table at the New England Center for 2 days, the 15th and 16th. They shared their map and about GIS and recruited about 5 youth they're going to follow up with for a kickoff event. And then they have their access day coming out on food insecurity on October 15th. So hopefully they can report back on that at the next meeting.
Okay, nice. What about New York? Is anyone here from New
York? They're not able to be here tonight, and Miss Cat let me know that she's got a class she's teaching on Monday night, so she's going to have a hard time being here, but they are working on recruiting new youth for New York.
Okay, all right. What about North Carolina?
I can start. So today, the Fuquay Verena High School GIS Club had its first meeting of the year. It was an introductory meeting. However, unfortunately, as they broadcasted the announcements, they forgot to mention the room number we were in. And so that was a huge bummer, which meant that only old members, I could send a reminder message so like the room, what the room number was. So we only ended up having 4 people in our meeting total today.
Oh.
However, I am going to broadcast another announcement in the future for our next meeting, so that with the room number, so that way more people can join. So hopefully we'll get some more numbers in the future, but we do have a plan now for what this year is going to look like and what we're going to go through and whatnot. So I think we have a good starting point. I think we just need to use propaganda and flourish. So that'll take some time. As for my internship, with Dr. Ray, I finally got the new version of ArcGIS Pro downloaded and installed. Esri Tech Support was able to help me out with that. So I am going to be doing some heavy testing this week when I have free time, and just looking at how exactly ArcGIS Pro's deep learning works, and just doing some cross analysis and whatnot. So that's my updates. I can leave the rest to Arjun and Dr. Ray.
Yeah, so as far as my project that I'm doing with Mr. Jeremy, who's also working with Brock, I believe we already talked about this last time, but we did some collection of data on the Post Center for the 3D model that we're creating in ArcGIS, and we're still continuing to collect data. And then also, I'm sharing my map at the North Carolina State Fair.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and one other thing, I reached out to the people who I met at the Esri conference that were from Wake County Public Schools, and they are getting back to me about a project that I could work on with them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're also, just another bit of an update. We have, I think we're up to, I don't know, 8 or so folks in our core county team. That might be one or more than that. One more or less than that. I can't even talk. But we're also looking forward to GIS Day, which I haven't even announced this to our club yet, but because I just learned about it. But our Raleigh Wake GIS Day event is going to include a youth mapping competition. So we're really excited about that. So on November, we're actually doing our event on the Tuesday, which I believe is the 7th. And so we're excited about that here in North Carolina as well.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. What about for Tennessee?
I believe I've got an update. All right, so we had a brief meeting last week, September 26th. Had a small group of 4-H agents and volunteers, and we are planning to start promoting 4-H GIS projects soon. So we're leading up to GIS Day as well on November 15th. We have tentatively planned for a 4-H GIS presentation, do like a Facebook Live or a Zoom call, 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 7 p.m. Central Time. And the presentation will include examples of previous 4-H GIS projects from previous year state competitions, information about the state 4-H GIS contest that we plan to hold this coming year, which, by the way, the winners of that will move on to the national team. So you'll be seeing representation from Team Tennessee this next year. So exciting for us. But it's also an introduction to learning opportunities, and will include information about the national team and how to get started with the Esri online ArcGIS account. So we're going to provide a Google form for people to fill out and get added to our Tennessee 4-H GIS ArcGIS online account for more access to online mapping tools. Anyways, we're going to schedule up a follow-up meeting for anyone who wants more training on creating online maps. So yeah, that's all stuff we plan to provide through Tennessee 4-H in the next couple months. But yeah, I'll send that in the chat, and that way we've all got it in one place, because I know that was a lot. But yeah, we're moving forward in Team Tennessee, and we're excited.
Okay.
Thank
you. Okay. Are there any other states that want to add anything? Okay. Is there anything anyone wants to say?
Yeah, I'll add that Austin and I were able to present for a national 4-H, or maybe it was just extension, health conference this past week. And so we did a presentation about where's the food. And the really cool thing about it was that there were lots of other states. California had 3 presentations. So we're trying to make some connections with some of those folks that participated in that. They're already focused on health. They're already doing some really cool and innovative things. And so we think, there might be some good opportunities there. So that was a successful outcome of this past week.
Okay, that's.
I have another update I forgot about. So our last year's vice president, Ava Neves, she was offered an opportunity to go to a really good academical school in Illinois. She was actually from there originally. And so they're debating move there, but if she moves there, it turns out that the school has a really large GIS club. We're talking minimum 30 students. And so potentially there is a possibility that they could get involved with the national team if she links with us, because her plan is to stay in touch with us. So if they do end up moving there, we could give some opportunity for the Illinois team to reach out to this club.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Is there anything else? Okay. If there's nothing else, we made a presentation about business analyst, which is something that we learned at like the Forge, the Esri conference that we went to over the summer. So we're just gonna present something about that.
All right, wait, are you gonna share it?
Yeah.
All right, so our presentation is on Business Analyst, which is a software provided by Esri. All right, next slide. All right, so what exactly is Business Analyst? So essentially, this is an online demographic mapping software, and this can help you with identifying underperforming markets, pinpoint growth sites, find where your target customers can be found, and share the infographics and analysis to organizations. Like essentially, if you're trying to like, for an example, if you're trying to like build a franchise or something like that, and you're trying to find like the best location to put it on a map, Business Analyst would be like the tool, because it can find the demographic, the market, the minimum salary in that area. So it just gives you, it's kind of like it's like a cheat code kind of when building, if you want to build like a building or something like that. Excellent.
So these are the 4 main parts that it offers. So it's like site and marketing planning. So this means that some of the tools included are like consumer profiling, market potential, sales forecasting, drive time, and trade area rings. It also helps you find a way to target your customers, because you can find data about like age, income, gender, family, and health from like census data, and there's also market data and infographics, and so you can access data from 130 countries with over 15,000 variables on the data. And then for territory analysis, you can locate underperforming sites and predict how those locations will perform, so you can find a better way to run your business. So the 3 steps are, first of all, you identify areas for analysis which you need, and then you analyze the areas using the demographics that you can identify through the software, and then you can share your findings with your peers and your coworkers so that you can implement it into your work. And then that's it.
You guys have any questions over what business analyst is?
Do you guys like plan to use this in your projects this year?
So for us in our county's club, I believe it's gonna be I'm gonna say no for now, but there's like there's like many projects that we're doing in our county right now that are like also like relating to this. So we can use business analyst, but I think that just I'm not a say. It's like for now it's gonna be a no, but I feel like in the future and it's gonna be a yes. If you know what I mean. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, how big is your guys' GIS club?
Our GIS club. Well, we're actually for now we're just trying to put together a club right now. But when I'm referring to county, I'm just saying our 4-H club that we're participating in.
Oh, okay.
This is Esther in Colorado. I have a question about business analyst. Where does that data come from?
I think it's a lot of it's pulled from like census data, and just pulled from other like public like surveys, and I think it's all like put together there.
Yeah, and there's also softwares implemented within business analysts that also fact check it. So like if multiple surveys like start lining up with something, like if for an example, all right, if there's like a minimum salary maybe 67K in one area and multiple surveys keep saying that, then it'll start like pinpointing specific areas using business analysts.
Excellent. And do you know how you individually contribute to business analyst data sets? So if you use a credit card, there's they know a lot, your credit card company knows a lot about you. So they know your income, they know where you live, and unfortunately, they also know what you bought and where you bought it. So various companies over time are rolling that data into business analysts to help define the market needs a little bit more focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool. All right. Any other questions or comments or concerns?
Actually, I have one. Can business analyst data be exported into softwares like ArcGIS Online and Pro, or is it exclusively in software similar to how ArcGIS Urban works?
So at the Esri conference, I remember them saying that. Well, actually, wait, can you repeat your question again? Sorry, I don't want to go too off topic.
Yeah, so is the data that's in business analyst specifically limited in software to use, or can you also export that data to other pieces of software like ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS Online?
Yeah, so for this software, you can export it to ArcGIS Pro. Like at the Esri conference, I remember going to like a specific business analyst booth, and they're just like explaining a bunch of like components of business analyst. And they're saying like in ArcGIS Pro, it's actually relatively new as well. It's like I think it's only like a few years old now, so it's still like in the development process. So it's like still like growing.
Nice.
And the business analyst, it also gives you, if I remember right, because I played around with it for, I think it was some of the COVID stuff. It gives you like infographics, products that regular ArcGIS Online apps don't do. Like it's stupidly simple and easy to understand infographics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it really easy for sure. Yeah. All right.
Is there anything else anyone has? Okay. If not, we can just do the 4-H pledge. Okay. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty,
My hands to
my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my county, and my world. Okay. I think that's everything then. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Great
Well,
job.
thank
tonight.
you very much. We did not end up with a note taker, so we do need to designate who is going to facilitate next month's meeting.
Yeah.
And North Carolina went last month, California was this month. I don't really remember who was before that.
Yeah.
But
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we have designated one for next meeting, so we're gonna need to figure that out.
If you want to do a schedule through the fall, we can put mass on and I can let them know when they come up.
Okay.
okay.
Very cool.
Are you all okay with Massachusetts would take in November?
Yeah. Do you need us just to do the agenda, or I can meet with them? An activity or presentation?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Well, so we do need to think about if we want to have another presentation. Definitely the agenda and like a warm-up icebreaker type activity. If they've got a presentation already that they've been thinking about, that would be great. Any other thoughts? Did we already have a log of things that we were wanting to be presented on? Does somebody have that handy?
We did, but all the items on that were fulfilled, and so I don't think we've expanded that in particular.
Okay. Is there anything that you all, David, I felt like last time you kind of did a good job of collecting ideas around what might be some good trainings for the session. Was anything that we haven't covered yet that maybe got generated in the past?
One thought I had was maybe Mr. Jeremy could do like a presentation.
I was thinking the same thing actually, because he could cover it, but we'd have to pick out like what would we want him to present on in particular, because he could take the next 18 meetings and have something to present at every one.
Yeah, and
So
one other idea I had was I know we haven't particularly touched on ArcGIS dashboards too much, so that could be something interesting to look at. And also, because the Fuquay Club is going to be working with ArcGIS Hub to create our website, eventually, once we've got that squared away, we could probably do a presentation on that and how that works.
That's a great idea. Our Where's the Food application, we're using survey 123 for the data collection, but then the representation side of that is a dashboard. So we could definitely, take a look at that. Is there somebody who would want to either get together a presentation on dashboards for next month, or maybe we ask Mr. Jeremy to present on maybe photogrammetry just as an example for next month, and then we could do dashboards in December, give
Yes.
somebody else time to do that.
Yeah, I would love to do dashboards, but now is not a great time because October is a busy month for me, considering marching band season. So I wouldn't be able to present very well in November. So I think holding that off till December would be a better idea, and it would also make it more fun. So
Do
that's
you
just
think
my
you
take.
could? Do you think you can do it in December?
Yeah, if I just prep through November. Yeah.
So what would you like? Again, I just threw out photogrammetry, but is there something like what would you all, if we want to ask Mr. Jeremy for next month, what would you want to learn about? So by the way, why don't you guys tell the rest of the team what Mr. Jeremy does?
Oh yeah, so Mr. Jeremy works for NC State Cooperative Extensions. He works with agriculture, and I don't know what entirely he does for his job, but he records a lot of data using drones. And he's has a master's degree in GIS. I'll let Arjun say other stuff.
Yeah, I think he has his like or like his main major is agriculture engineering, if I remember correctly, and then he has his master's in GIS, like Brock said. And I think he does like a lot of work in agriculture, since that's mainly his background. Like so he collects data on crops and like the behavior of different like species of plants and things like that, using drones and GIS to figure out like where crops need attention and where they grow well and what is sustainable and what isn't and things like that.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, I think photogrammetry would be a good one. And then for December, I could do like an introductory to dashboards and like live data and whatnot.
So who will reach out to Mr. Jeremy about next month?
Me and Arjun can do that collectively. Arjun, if you want to start an email, I can like follow up and say like, hey, this like yeah, we want to look at this and yeah. So yeah, we can work on that.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, so we have our facilitators, who are also going to do the icebreaker and run the agenda in the meeting, and then we have a potential presentation topic for next month. Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. Bye.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye.